Okay? Your story doesn't have to be Portugal. You can pretend it's everywhere in the world if you think that's a good place for you to pretend it's another place in the world. About what's eligible, it's easy. Almost everything's eligible if you pay through an account we will open together in Portugal. Okay? To get to the 500,000, okay, you can pay tickets, the flights, if you pay through our account. Your Indian cast, your hero and heroine, if you want to pay through Portugal, it's eligible too. Hotels, transportation, Indian crew, Portuguese crew, everything is eligible, okay, to get to the 500,000 and to get you guys there, okay?
That's great. But why didn't you give it to us?
Because you were there too soon.
Yeah, I've had that problem.
No, it's true. We didn't have it by the time. The last year we had one cash rebate, but it was at least spending 1 million. Then again, cinema, hey, hello. There's not many productions spending 1 million in Portugal. We are not so highly cost country. How can we spend 1 million here? We don't. Okay? Second, this year we struggle. We have not 20%, but 30%. We don't have 1 million, we have 500,000. But when you shoot in Portugal, we don't even have any incentive.
So, on a side note, actually I have seen her and her mother, Anna, who's here. I'm not inviting you to, okay. She's here as well. She heads cinema, and I'd like to invite her here. So, she's the boss of Cinemat. It's a company of, it's a family-run organization largely. And we have these beautiful ladies all looking similar to each other working in this organization. So what made the government actually listen to you? I know that you have negotiated with them and tried to get this rebate, but what are the things that you said that convinced them to give film producers rebate?
Yes, I think we need to make easy. And our government and tourism board normally complicate it so much. And film industry, we need these things for yesterday, not for tomorrow. And that's the big problem between production and government. That's why we need 1 year to explain our government. We need to be fast and easy. We learn, for example, with IMTIIAZ, because in Europe, and I am a producer, I know it's easy for us because we know the procedures, we know everything. But they arrive at Lisbon, they make, for example, 14 hours with 30 people, not with 12 people like us, because we trust each other. We know we have different ways to get the things, and we need to learn with them, because we want to work with them, because they work differently. For example, for my experience, a grip man in Portugal, we use 3. And we take 30 minutes to put everything together. We have a crane. They come with 4 people, but they need 2 minutes. It's differently, of course, but it's a way to do it and do the same work. Then what we try to do is make easy the things. That's why we think now we are not everything, because we only have 30%, but we try to make easy the application, because all of cash rebates of euros need tax counter test. It's difficult for a Indian production to go for 30 points of the counter test. They don't need that. They need 3 of them. Only locations, for example, and crew and Denise take my arm. I think she. We have only 3 locations and crew and half a million, and that's it. And we don't charge VAT, for example, and it's much more easy than you wait 9 months for refund VAT. That's what we can offer in Portugal.
Moving to Pavlina now and to the Czech Republic, I don't even remember how it was in terms of the government policy, etc. during Rockstar. But I do know that actually the Czech Republic did give us a rebate for Jab Harry Met Sejal. And can you tell us what the structure is now with the government?
Yeah. Well, basically we offer incentives since 2010, and it's 20%. That's a fixed cash rebate that you get. That means on the Czech spend, on anything that you spend on your film, including post-production in the Czech Republic. And we also offer a 66% on the withdrawal tax for your above-the-line cast and crew, on the income tax. If they are registered for paying tax in the Czech Republic, they get 66% on the tax. And we also have regional funds. I think you benefited from the Prague Film Fund. Your film, Jab
Harry Met Sejal.
Yes, got $200,000 of that fund. So,
that's awesome. And when you see us working over there, how do you think we are different from other nations? I know that the Czech Republic, incidentally, has got a huge background of filmmaking. One of my favorite filmmakers, Milos Forman, is actually from the Czech Republic, and he studied at FAMU, which remains one of the best institutes of filmmaking in the world. So I know that the Czech understand cinema much better than many filmmaking nations. But when you look at us working, like an Indian crew over there and working, what are your honest impressions about our work?
I would say you're extremely efficient. Yeah, I do. I don't think so. Well, I think that's probably says it all. I mean, we have never had problems. If you would ask about problems, no, you're extremely efficient, and I think you work very well with the Czech crews as well. Because you're really nice people, you're naturally nice people. I'm not saying that there are nations who are not nice, but somehow there's a synergy. In the end, when they work with Czechs, there is a certain synergy. It works well. I have never had any problems or complaints.
And what are your impressions of the Indian crew? All the Indian crew?
Efficient for sure.
You think so? That's a very good compliment to us. If both of you are saying that, I feel really good about this.
I'm talking about your experience. I have others that were more complicated, but that was a yesterday talking.
No, we are talking about Indians. We're not talking about only my crew.
Communication, language.
It's a problem?
It is. I had a South Indian movie that I love to do. It was headed again, 47 days shooting. Non-stop. We stopped one day for rain because they shot in November and December in Portugal. It's winter time. So it was 2 days of rain. One we changed for the inside location, and the other one we were not able to shoot. But the problem is communication for me the most, because many of the member crews, the junior ones, the trainees, they don't speak English. And if you want to give directions to the people, if you need to provide something to them, if you need to take them shopping and you don't understand what are their needs, you're not able to provide. That is my main problem and difficulty. With your crew, I didn't find it, because even when you are having discussions, internal discussions in means of departments, that you don't need me to hear, you only speak English. And our team, they all speak English, so even when it's not our concern, we were hearing, and maybe if we can help you, we have a way to help that subject, we would interfere and say, hey, wait, we have something to give you. Some Indian crews, I don't know why, if it's the low wages, because they have a need to take 5 people to do one job. It's really hard when you take people to another country and they don't even speak English. That is the only concern.
Yeah, that's something to think about. Maybe regional cinema has fewer people in the unit that speak English, which is fine. And also I think our culture is different. Our culture, we are a populated nation. It's not a problem for us to always downsize the crew. That's not our problem. So our system of working, as Anna said earlier, is based on more people and quicker work. So that when the meter is on, that time is short. So we try to do it that way. But yeah, there are many units. But what about you, Pavlina? Have you heard of issues of communication, etc., being a problem with Indian crews?
Well, I wouldn't call it a problem. What I feel is that sometimes we need to really push hard to get information, but I guess it's my problem. I am, or the producer, needs to be done, and they need to be able to get the information. So.
No, and I must say that both your nations, you have 2 similarities. One of them is that it's not really an English-speaking nation, either of them. People speak their languages with a lot of pride and with a lot of comfort, and you will not find on the street, like if you went to Holland, more people will turn out speaking English than in Portugal or the Czech Republic. But there is a natural, like a warmth that people from both these countries have. I've always found very easy to relate. And then when you even don't know the language, but you can communicate to each other because you trust each other and there's a warmth and you want to go out together after shoot is over. On that break day, you still hang together. That kind of a camaraderie is possible. So I think that becomes a very big reason for any producer like myself to return to a nation, to return to the same people to shoot with. So that's very, very good about both these countries. I want to ask how much time we have and what do we have to do?
Could we take questions from the audience? We
Yes,
have
please.
that.
Yes. Is there somebody to circulate a mic? All right.
Use my mic.
Is there anyone who wants to ask?
Hi, my name is IMTIIAZ. IMTIIAZ, my most successful namesake. We went a very long time back when you were doing serial for us online, 15 years back. Yeah. So good to see you here. My question is to the lady from Czech Republic. We are shooting an international film in Europe later part of the year. And one of our line producers, his name is Marcin. He owns a company called Muchos Gracias. He, in fact, is sourcing locations for us in Europe which will substitute for Russia. And the country that he came up with was Czech Republic. I haven't been there. I don't even know if it looks like Russia or not. But I should be there in the next month and a half to check out the locations. So I have a couple of questions for you. One, of course, like all Indian producers, I need to understand what's the percentage of rebate. I have like a 30-day schedule over there, which is going to cost over $2 million. And we're also thinking about, is it necessary for me to partner a local line production company over there to access the rebate, or that's not necessary? And also third, very important, is do we have access to an English-speaking crew in Czech Republic?
Yes, well, the first question, you always need a Czech partner. Service production company or a co-producer, but it has to be, the company needs to be registered in the Czech Republic for the tax. So you always need a Czech production company.
Do I need to partner that company? That was my question. Do I need to open a joint account? Do I need to open a joint account with that company?
Do you need to open what? Sorry?
A joint account.
A joint bank account.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
No. Your Czech producers will take care of it. And your second question, I would say 99.9% of Czech crews speak English, because most of the international services we do are for Americans and UK, Germany as well. So it's a standard that every crew member speaks English, and the second language is Czech and then German.
Great. And my last question again is, would it substitute for Russia in terms of the visual landscape?
Depends what, but depends what and what historical period.
It's a period film, 1939 to 1946. We'll be looking at the landscape which would have looked like the Gulag camps in Russia back then.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that surely you will get.
Yeah.
Because actually the Russian architecture has been very influential in the Czech Republic during that period.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately,
Other locations are still there.
unfortunately for you.
Yeah.
But also, it depends on what part of Russia, because it of course is the largest country in the world.
Yes.
So parts of Russia are different from each other.
More of the Siberian part of Russia.
Siberian. Well, I don't know exactly what you might be looking for, but Siberia is a very typical
Yes.
We don't want to go and shoot in Siberia, so we're looking at a substitute location, and one of the locations that Marcel suggested was
I'm sure. Yeah, especially if it's a period film, I'm sure you'll get a lot in the Czech Republic, which you might find difficult finding in Russia itself.
Yeah, we're looking at old train stations, stuff like that,
Also, Russia has long distances everywhere, so if you find a particular place in the Czech Republic, everything is logistically, short distance.
I'll take this offline with you, Thank you so much. Thanks, IMTIIAZ.
Okay, any questions very specifically to IMTIIAZ Ali, because he's here for a short while our guests do have booths outside.
Please, let's not do that. No, not at all, please.
Hi, IMTIIAZ. My question is, how do you freeze on a location? While writing the script, you have a location in mind, or you write the script and then you decide where to place it?
I'll give you examples of both these countries because these beautiful ladies are with us. The Czech Republic. I had that in my mind when I was writing. And I had no idea, except for the fact that I'd read in history that during the Second World War, when Europe was facing death and destruction, cities were getting torn down. The only city that survived kind of unharmed, mostly unharmed, where all the buildings still stand the way they were before the Second World War, is in fact Prague. And while in the other cities, most of the capital cities of Europe, the buildings have been made as a replica of what existed before the bombings. Because most of these cities were destroyed. But the Czech Republic, it so happened, because the transfer of forces was such during that time, that the buildings survived. And so therefore they look different and magnificent in the Czech Republic. So the buildings are actually what they were in the early 1900s, maybe even before that. So it gives a different kind of feeling. So I had that knowledge in mind. And then I was writing, I'd seen some pictures, and I wanted it to be a place which is not a regular tourist destination. I wanted it to be a little strange also in some way to Indians, in the way that we knew Paris, we knew London, we knew Berlin perhaps, but not Prague. So we wanted it to be, so I wrote it, and when I landed up there I realized that that's exactly what I was looking for, because Prague also has let's say a beautiful dark side, which I was looking for that film. There's a lot of darkness in very beautiful ways in the architecture. So that was Prague for me. Portugal as well, I had in mind. In fact, when I was shooting the previous film, Tamasha, I was thinking of Portugal as well as an option for Corsica. I wanted to go to a remote place, but then I thought that it's more difficult for a girl who is stuck without her passport to be in Corsica rather than Portugal, because in Portugal you will find your way. So you must also feel that, you must know that the connection between India and Portugal exists as well. Like the Goans would feel very comfortable being in Portugal. And when that's why I keep suggesting to both of you that you should go to Goa, because you feel you're back home in Portugal. So I chose Corsica because it was a place, it was an island, etc. So it's always from the merit of the story, and yes, the information exists. There is a picture, and of course I go to that place later and check whether it is living up to what I have in mind. And most of the times it is consistent, because if nothing else, every country has so much to offer that whatever you might be looking for the narrow requirement of one country will be satisfied in some way or the other. In fact, the only thing that you need when you're shooting abroad is to have to live with this feeling that you'll never be able to do justice to that country, because you will go there and shoot some locations and you will see millions of others and you'll feel so horrible not having shot in all of them or some of them. Portugal, of course, also I had in my mind, because this last story that I did was about a tour guide and about a touristic route, and all of that was in a certain part of Europe, and for some reason I wanted to leave that and go to, just leap across to a very personal place. That's why I thought Portugal also had a feeling of fiesta and we associated with football and all of that, so we left a cross over there. Yeah, so the knowledge exists, and that's when you write.
Thank you.
This will be the last question.
Hi, IMTIIAZ. Let's come back to India now. Any plans for Indian locations?
Oh yes, yeah. In all probability, if I do the film that I'm planning to do now, it's all in India.
Good. So
why? Why?
Because I'm representing Gujarat.
Oh, nice.
And we met in Goa, if you remember. So
you had a very lovely stall there.
yes, yeah. Very lovely locations as well we do have. So we are looking forward for your next film in Gujarat.
Hopefully.
Thank you.
Okay, we can still take a quick question if anybody has a question.
Any concerns with the shooting permissions, etc.?
We'll give you a mic, sir.
I know that you've been shooting in various places, including Delhi. And based on your feedback, we have been updating, trying to improve, taking fresh initiatives, and so on. So I just want you to know that you have any still concerns in mind, which you feel that before you shoot your next film could be addressed to whatever extent.
Every place you go to shoot, including places in India, and definitely the ones abroad, have different ways of working, and not only that, it has this way of working, you must understand, is based on the nature of the people who live there. Like the Indian way of working, if they look at it, will be consistent to the Indian character of people. Similarly, if I look at Portugal and their way of working, the way the town hall operates, it's very Portuguese. It's not like the Czech Republic. At most of these places, the reason to go really, I mean, for me, I'm a director, so I will speak from that point of view. The reason to go is not that the rebate is the best. The reason to go is that the story calls you to go there, because so once you go there, you will not go to an antagonistic situation place. You will not go to a place where people don't cooperate or where systems don't cooperate, of course. But at every place you go, there are some things that come as a little bit of a problem, either to a producer or the director. But in my experience, going to any place, it's not a big problem. You know, and as long as you have this very basic thing which we must understand, that we are not an exacting or a scientific industry. You know, we are a very human-related industry. We are a very interactive industry. We need to talk to people who can understand us and we understand them and work a system out. We are also not doing anything surgical or constructing a bridge, etc. There are ways to getting around it. There is a certain warmth that is required, a deeper understanding really. And that, there are issues. When we were shooting in Portugal, we troubled them so much because we work in our own way, then I was being whimsical, I was trying to be friendly to these ladies here and to the others, somehow getting them to my side so that I could change my plans. And because, you know, when you start shooting at a place, because what happens is that you go there on a recce, then when you go back there, you spend more time, you see new places. What are you going to do? You're going to say, okay, no, I'm going to shoot in my old places, which, am I going to just forego all the knowledge that I have freshly of this place because I've stayed here for the first time for, let's say, a month? No, you're not going to do that. What you're going to do is to say, hey, you want to come out for a drink with me? Let's just talk and, you know, I'm really interested. Oh, that place is nice. Can I shoot here? Let's try. She won't know that actually I went there last night with my crew and wanted to shoot there instead of the location that the town hall has done already. These things happen. But the fact is that if I've had that with the Czech people so much, that they don't, now when Pavel is my friend and Jan and everybody and Martin, so when I went for the recce for this film, and I said, I've finally decided this is the location I'm going to shoot that scene in, that is the location I'm going to shoot that. So Pavel will say, can you tell me this a few days later? I'm not in a hurry. I'm not in a hurry, take your time. I said, no, I'm telling you right now. He said, yeah, we've heard that before. Please tell me, like, on Thursday, okay? So he's not even taking me seriously anymore. But the fact is that it's this warmth, this desire to make a film. If you're interested in doing something creative or interesting and making a film look nicer, get a better visual in, etc., that is when you become helpful as a country and as a system.
What I actually meant was that...
I'm sorry, I said something else.
No, it's okay. So I was basically trying to take your views while you were shooting experience within India.
Achha, within India.
I represent Delhi.
Yes, in Delhi, actually...
So what I wanted to tell you was that we are collectively working to make it a shooting-friendly destination in a way. And the challenge for all of us is that the perception of people needs to be changed to whatever extent possible. That it's not a shooting-friendly place. So what is your experience and what is your message and what is your advice on that?
Actually, I think I've really led by example, not led by example, but then I've already shot so much in Delhi. So many of my films are shot in Delhi. If I wouldn't be doing it if my experience wasn't good. And not only me, I think there are so many producers and movies that are shooting there now in Delhi. It's incredible. It's much more, I don't know, maybe it is even more than Bombay that there are units there, right? And there are so many line producers spawning up now.
More than 30-40 films in a year are being shot, and this is minus the foreign films, just Indian films. Thank you for your feedback.
Okay, we've got one very quick question, not a discussion.
Hi, Sanjeev here. Just want to know how much are you a producer's director? In the sense, does the producer give you a leeway of going wherever you want to go and recce the place and then come back and you tell him that, okay, this is the place I've identified, but then when you've gone there, you say, no, I don't think this, but this.
Yeah, there's always a negotiation. I try to be reasonable. But I also try to work with those people that want to make good cinema. So they understand that it's not only the compulsion of making the maximum buck that gets us here, there are other industries to invest in which are far more safe and perhaps profitable. So if a producer's reason really is to make good cinema, then that's the one that I want to work with usually. Then I can negotiate. I don't think I'm an unreasonable person, but then I try to explain to the best of my ability. Usually, I don't think there has been any problem because I understand money and I do understand this basic thing that an industry survives no matter how art-oriented it is, but it survives at the cash register level if it has to go on forever.
Thank you.
Talk to all of you. I hope that to some measure this has been fruitful for you. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's put a hands together for Mr. IMTIAZ, the party was over by Ana Maria Ramos Costa and Katerina Gaspar. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, do put your hands together for them once again. This was a masterclass session from IMTIIAZ, and I'd like to invite Harshad and Ananto.
With the overall our country.
It's always good to interact with film people from different parts of the world because you get to learn a lot, you get to see how they think about cinema and how they work to make it the best in their way. Every time that I've gone out shooting has been a learning experience. There are friends from all over the world that I can see right now. So it was very nice coming here. It was nice to talk and take questions from people from different nations to interact with them.
Do you think it's become very easier to shoot in a foreign, as we see it's difficult in India to shooting. We have seen the taken a permission like a window to window going through.
I think what's happening is that just like foreign locations, there are also Indian locations that are, for instance, putting up. I can see the Gujarat stall here, the Delhi stall here. So IIFTC doesn't mean only foreign location, it means also Indian locations, any locations that are now pitching up. And now I think I can see that the different states of the country are also gearing up and making film policies and making it easier, and very often a one window kind of a shooting is. So I don't think that shooting in India is very difficult. Of course, we being Indians have a natural advantage to shoot here, but even for other people, I think the government is doing a lot to make it easy. मुझे यार बहुत सारी कंट्री में बड़ा अच्छा एक्सपीरियंस रहा है शूट करने का. एक तो चेक रिपब्लिक यानी प्राग में बहुत अच्छा रहा है, पोर्चुगल में बहुत अच्छा रहा है. अभी जो मैंने सेशन किया उसमें पोर्चुगल और प्राग के लोग मेरे साथ इस सेशन में थे. कॉर्सिका में बहुत अच्छा ही रहा है. और दिल्ली में मैं बहुत शूट करता हूँ, गुजरात में कभी किया नहीं है. तो ये लोग मुझसे पूछ रहे थे. कश्मीर में बहुत अच्छा लगता है शूट करके. तो हिंदुस्तान के अंदर भी बहुत सारी जगह हैं और हिंदुस्तान के बाहर भी है.
सबसे डिफिकल्ट कौन सी कंट्री होती है जहाँ पे शूट करना मुश्किल हो जाता है?
शूट करना मुश्किल वैसी जगहों पे होता है जहाँ जो जगह ना ब्यूरोक्रेटिक होती हैं, जहाँ पे लोग पॉजिटिव नहीं होते. ऐसा एक्सपीरियंस कभी हम लोगों को ज़्यादा हुआ नहीं है. बिकॉज अगर ऐसा होता है ना कि अगर एक आदमी, मान लो कि गवर्नमेंट का कोई एजेंसी है जो कोऑपरेट नहीं कर रही है, तो हम लोग लाइन प्रोड्यूसर को पकड़ते हैं कि तुम हमको हेल्प कर दो, तो वो कर देते हैं. हम लोगों ने जापान में शूट किया है. मेरा एक दोस्त यहाँ खड़ा है जापान से. अल्टीमेटली एवरीबडी हैज़ अ बेसिक. दीज आर ऑल नेशंस वेयर फिल्म शूटिंग एनीवे हैपेंस. सो दीज आर ऑल places where one way or the other it works. So sometimes if it doesn't work through the bureaucratic setup of the government, like in England it is difficult like that, but the friends that you're working with in the unit, like the line producers, etc., they help you out to get around a certain system, you know, so it's like that.
So you also planning for to shoot in a foreign for your upcoming project like Laila?
No, my Laila Majnu is a film that I have not done. It's like Laila Majnu is directed by Sajid, and so that is all shot in Kashmir, entirely shot in Kashmir. There is no foreign location in it.
So shoot is completed and still there?
Yes, shoot is completed.
So do you think IIFTC is giving some kind of benefit because this is the second year of it?
Second year of IIFTC, yes, it is giving. I think it has grown to a much larger size And I'm very, very happy to see Indian participation in it as well. And also the participation of many countries like Sweden and Norway and Greece, I'm seeing over here, which was perhaps not the case, if I remember correct, the last time. So I think it has grown in size and stature and is becoming more influential in filmmaking in India.
I want to know whenever the कुछ भी ऐसी बात होती है देश को लेकर, बॉलीवुड सेलिब्रिटी हमेशा उस बारे में बोलते हैं, ट्वीट करते हैं, अपनी राय रखते हैं. What is happening in Syria? Why the world is silent in yet?
What is happening in Syria is dismal. It's very questioning. I don't know about. I don't really have a large presence on social media. I'm not on Twitter, so I don't follow who's saying what on Twitter. I chiefly read newspapers, but I don't know why people are. I don't even know whether people are not saying anything about Syria. But ये ज़रूर है, मुझे लगता है there are. I mean, I do know that there is a group of Sikhs who's in Syria and working over there for the upliftment of people. Indian Sikhs are there trying to help people out in Syria. Hats off to them, and I would encourage everybody to bring to the notice of everybody else what is happening there. But do it in a meaningful manner and not do it fakely, not do it in a way to make themselves look better.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.